What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm here with my co-host, Danny Cole. I'm Antonio Perez. We got a great episode coming up for you guys today. It's episode 17. We're going to be talking about second round of the playoffs. Not second round, third round of the playoffs. That's getting underway. We got our conference finals. We're going to be talking some NBA lottery that happened last night, and we're going to be talking some QBs who are it's either going to be make or break it for them this year, or we're deciding if it's make or break for them this season. Before we get into the episode, make sure you guys check out our pinned tweet on Twitter. Check out our Instagram. We're doing a giveaway once we reach 100 subscribers on YouTube. So make sure you check that out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. The winner of the giveaway gets a free jersey on us. Anything you want, it'll be on us. All you gotta do is follow the rules on the post and make sure you get it out there. Trust me, winning a free $120 jersey instead of having to buy it, that's clutch. And you know what else is clutch? In the Clutch Apparel. Guys, I got this vet shirt from In the Clutch Apparel. It's super comfortable. And, gym guys, you like shirts tight around the arms, loose around the body. That's just how it is. And you can wear it for basically anything, man. You see at the bottom of the screen if you're watching on YouTube. If not, the link will be in the description. Use code Sideline for 10% off your order at In the Clutch Apparel. We got some Eagles and Steelers stuff on the way. We just got some Sixer shirts in there. They also just posted a crazy Mavs shirt. If you're a Mavericks fan, go check that out. Or you're just a Luka guy, go check it out. They got some heat on the way. All right, we're about to get into the episode. But, Danny, how are you doing today?
Very long-winded intro. You did not say UPenn's finest for the first time. But other than that, beautiful day.
Yeah, you're out for the summer, so we're going to have to put it to rest for right now.
We will have to put it to rest for right now. Beautiful day outside.
It is. It really is.
Gotta get after it.
It's going to be snowing tomorrow, knowing Pennsylvania.
Most likely.
All right. Well, we'll get into our summits and plummets. Anybody who doesn't know, me and Danny, we both pick one good thing, one bad thing. Basically, the one good thing, the summit, is a team, person, rap artist, our local Wawa worker, anyone who really had a really good week. And then the plummet, same thing, someone who just had a really bad week. Team, organization, whatever. I'm gonna let Danny go first. Go first with your plummet this time. I think you went first with your summit last time.
I believe I said the Pittsburgh Penguins were my summit last time.
This time, unfortunately, they're your plummet just a week later. Just a week later.
They blew a 3-1 lead. I'm very unfortunate, but they're my plummet. Yeah, it's very abysmal play throughout the end of the series, and they lost in overtime in Game 7. It's just very bad.
Yeah, man, they were going to be my plummet, but I figured you were gonna take the stage on that one. I'm gonna go basketball. My plummet is it's the Phoenix Suns, and you kind of, I don't know. You're the 64 win team. Clearly, you're the favorite to win the finals. You get to the second round against a team who, outside of their best player, you guys up to like maybe your seventh man, you could throw in that Mavs team and he'd be the second best player. And yeah, you kind of blow it. You blow a 2-0 lead, you blow a 3-2 lead. And then you go out in Game 7. Look, man, like I don't want to put no blame on Monty Williams. I love Monty Williams. He deserves some blame too. But you go out in a Game 7 at home and you get your ass handed to you. No heart. Like you could put the logic, oh, they lost in 7 and the Sixers lost in 6, so the Sixers went out more sad. Look, the Sixers didn't show heart, but the Suns didn't. They didn't even show up. They didn't bother to show up and play. It was ridiculous. Devin Booker, inexcusable performance. That just lets you know the upper echelon of young talent is Luka, Tatum, Trey, Ja, then it's Book. I was actually arguing with Danny the other day how I was like, oh, Devin Booker's better than Ja Morant. Ja Morant would never do that. And I look, you don't judge things off one game. Ja Morant was averaging 38 against the Warriors before he got hurt. And it's unfortunate. I can't say they win that series, but Yeah,
He-
plummet
playing.
for the week is Devin Booker and the Suns.
For me, I'm gonna stick in NBA for my Summit. Orlando Magic. We'll talk about it a little more
Yes.
later. The Orlando
Yeah.
Magic really have landed the opportunity to turn their franchise around, get a franchise changer, pair them with a couple guys that are young. You have very
A
young
growing
players.
Suggs, Cole Anthony, hopefully a healthy Fultz.
Hey,
It's some pieces in line. Things just gotta stick to the wall.
is Bamba still there?
Mo Bamba's as good as gone. He's good as gone, I think.
Yeah.
I think I seen a tweet about that from a verified account. Maybe that's just them putting out fake news. But he also tweeted out Clovers last night, so maybe he's a future Celtic.
It might be.
I like that pick. And they have a choice of 3 guys, and of course it's always good when that's up to you. Jabari Smith, Paulo Branchero, and Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren, he I think he might be my one. The versatility as a 7-footer.
I don't know.
Obviously,
My one's definitely Palo.
I think the versatility at the size, good playmaker for his size. Obviously, anything he can do, Branchero can do too. I like both of them a lot, and don't sleep with Jabari Smith. There's a lot of good talent. A lot of good talent in this draft. I would go with Holmgren though. I like this. I like the size. He's very KD-esque, and he's a really good playmaker.
Yeah.
His potential is off the charts. Obviously, you'd love to see him, put some pounds on. But yeah, that's a great summit. That's a great summit. The Orlando Magic, they get a summit by being a all-time plummet. Ironic.
Literally, very ironic.
Yeah. My son earlier, even though the Heat just kicked the shit out of him last night. The Miami Heat, more specifically Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, I think it's about time we start giving him that. We have to keep the energy with him. Every single time the playoffs roll around, we start to talk about how he's the top 10 player in the world, and then he'll play okay in the regular season, and they're like, oh, like is he even like top 15? I'm like, what I'm trying to say is basically. So Kawhi Leonard's always great. That's not the thing. But Kawhi Leonard turns it up playoff time, and that's where he makes most of his money. I think it's time we start treating Jimmy Butler almost the same way. Like, if he's playing bad in the regular season, be like, all right, it's fine. Just wait to the postseason, though. That's when you're going to get a great player. Yeah, so Jimmy Butler is stock is at an all-time high right now. He had a great game last night. He gave the Celtics fucking hell. And as an NBA fan, obviously I love watching Jimmy Butler, but when he's facing the guys in green, it's not so fun. So yeah, Summit is Jimmy Butler, Plummet is the Phoenix Suns. All right.
All right, let's move on.
All right, well, while we're here, let's just get into the Heat Celtics series. I picked them to win in 6. I picked the Celtics to win in 6 because I'm biased. Obviously, when picking someone to win in 6, your team must lose 2 games. So I'm not too worried. They played a god awful third quarter though. But however, they outperformed them in every other quarter. They simply lost the third one historically. That doesn't change anything. You would love to have Marcus and Al back there, but you have to look at it as it was a winnable game. Let's see how they respond on Wednesday. If they can split home court without Al, they'll probably be without Al Horford again due to health and safety protocols. Hopefully we get Smart back, but if not, try to split the home court. You do not want to go back to your home court down 0-2 because then you're 4. You have to win those 2 games to even it up. So, what do you think?
Celtics in 7. I think the Heat obviously played pretty well last night. They weren't making all of their shots. I think you can say the same thing for the Celtics. The Celtics were down a few players. The Celtics didn't play great. They played okay.
Played good in like first quarter, first half, but it came down the stretch. Max Strus was hitting his shots. Gabe Vincent was really hitting his shots. He was switching on to Jason Tatum. Like that's crazy. Like no one does that a lot. Jimmy Butler was magnificent as always.
Butler was insane.
Yeah.
But see, if you can neutralize Butler down to like a 30-point game instead of 40, different game.
or if Jason Tatum doesn't have like 8 turnovers and turns that into maybe 8 buckets, that would help out a lot.
The second and third quarters, Tatum like lost aggressiveness. I don't know.
He picked it up in the second and then third quarter. He simply had 6 turnovers in the quarter. He has to do a better job of handling the ball. He has to. It's just that simple. He has to be a better passer. He has to do a better job handling the ball. Just more leadership. And I get it. He's not the most vocal guy. I understand, but the dudes follow you. I'll put it like this: in every game where Tatum has played well this postseason, they don't lose. It's that simple. If Tatum's on, you're not going to lose. It's because the way he gets his buckets are so. As a defense, you're like, damn. It's like that. Like the way Jimmy Butler was scoring last night. Fadeaways, sidestep threes, pull up, fast break mid ranges. Like Jason Tatum can do stuff like that. He's got the fadeaways from the mid range. He's got the sidesteps from 3, and he's tough around the rim. So if all those type of buckets are like, it's win taking for a defense. But if he's gonna lose aggressiveness, he's gonna stop attacking the basket, gonna stop shooting. The Celtics are only going to go so far. Jaylen Brown can only mimic that so much to carry an offense. And he's not as good as a playmaker, so he's not as much as a threat for the defense to pass it. But I fully believe in them. I think they take this next game. They take their home games. They probably lose back in Miami. They finish it up in Boston. I'm not ducking on my in 6 take. However, after last night, they just got to win 4 of the next 5. But I do believe in this team. In the first 2 quarters, I watched a team that clearly outdueled them. They just came out in the third quarter looking like the December Celtics. That can't happen. It's that simple.
Sad.
If that team steps on the court, they'll lose to the Magic. I swear to God. If them December Celtics played a best of 7 with the Magic, they could fuck around and lose. They're that bad.
Would. Yeah,
let's move on Mavs Warriors. I have Warriors in 6.
I have Warriors in 5. I think Luka pulls off 1. I think the team's too deep. I think the Warriors are too deep. I think you're not going to see consistently Dorian Finney-Smith and these role players hitting their shots the way that they have been against the Suns. Like when they played the Suns, the Mavs were at their like complete best, and they barely escaped away. People are going to say, "Oh, they won by 30 in Game 7." But they barely escaped away. They won a Game 7. Like they took 7 for a reason.
Well, I do see the vision. The Warriors are really deep. I can't see them losing this game. They have the greatest backcourt in NBA history. Still, obviously, Clay's not what he used to be, but you got Poole, who's more than filling in for it. Obviously, Draymond and Wiggins. I think Luka can get 2 games, though. I think the role players can hit their shots for 1, and then Luka is just going to have to pull off a masterclass, a LeBron-esque game against these guys. Obviously, I would love to see Luka win. Everyone knows I want to see a Luka Tatum final. Those are 2 of my 3 favorite players in the NBA, probably my 2 favorite players in the NBA. I would love to see them get to the finals, but I think when Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green are healthy, they are inevitable. They are Thanos.
Glory to Luka. If Luka can pull it off, he's that guy. But
I think I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I think if he were to make the finals, I think he's the second best player in the world. If he were to beat this Warriors team somehow, he'd be second to only Giannis. I like that as the NBA world, we're starting to realize that Giannis, he is the best player in the world. Like, I'm glad we're all starting to come around to that. Early February, I thought it was Kevin Durant, but at that point I switched it because I was like, Kevin Durant doesn't stay healthy enough for me, and I really do like Giannis's game, despite the lack of shot creating. Shit, you don't gotta tell me, because against the Celtics in Game 5 down the stretch, this dude's hitting pull up threes. This dude's hitting catch and shoot threes. Like, telling you, like, when he has to make them, he will. Sure, he's not like Chris Middleton. He's not this elite 3-level scorer, but trust me, like, he's got a little, like, he'll hit him if he has to. Like, he's not a complete liability from there.
Exactly.
However, Luka is an elite 3-level scorer, and he'll hit them whenever he wants, and he'll laugh about it.
Yeah, he will laugh about it, right?
I love Luka Doncic. I love Luka Doncic, but Steph Curry and the Warriors could be just a little too much, just like it was for LeBron. However, if Luka were to beat them, you will hear dialogue about that. About like, oh, he could beat this Warriors team. Why couldn't LeBron? It's a completely different bench. Everything's different. Yeah, like the only like it's like they're like, oh well, Luka beat this core. I'm like, well, Clay is coming off 2 major leg surgeries. Draymond's averaging a triple single, and Steph Curry's on like. I mean, he's still been great, of course, but he's not that Steph Curry. Not even the Steph Curry of a couple months ago. Like, I don't know. Don't want to see that dialogue. I got Warriors in 6. I would love to see the Mavs win, but you're either happy or you're right in this world. So, I think I'm happy, but I know I'll be right. Now we're getting into a topic called Take the Skyline QB Edition. What this is basically the first step we take is we determine if a quarterback or insert position, whatever, either is it going to be a do or die season for them? Is this a 1-year audition per se? And with that, we decide, do they take the skyline? Do they leave the mountaintop? Or are they going to be standing right there with their team when the season is over? I'll run the easiest example known to man, Jalen Hurts. Me and Danny both know this is a 1-year audition. The team has said it. He has said it. He's got to prove it this year. So will he be taking the skyline or will he be staying on top of the summit? Danny, what do you think? I'm not going to put my input as an Eagles fan.
Jalen Hurts will win an Eagles the playoff game. Thus, he will be an Eagles quarterback next year. So, yes, he'll be staying on top of the summit. He'll be crowning the throne. He'll be Eagles quarterback for at least another 4 years.
I like that. Let me ask you. I'm going to be sitting back asking the questions about Hurts because I'm too biased for him. He's literally my favorite player. What are the throwing expectations? What are the yards looking like? What are the touchdowns looking like? What are the wins looking like?
So I think the Eagles win 12 games. I think Hurts throws for 3,800, 30 touchdowns, and rushes for 10 to 12.
That would, I mean, if he were to throw for 38 and rush for, let's say you said 10 to 12. If he rushed for 12, that is 50 total touchdowns.
No, 30 touchdowns and 8 to 12 rushes.
Oh, gotcha. I was going to say, I'm like, are you saying this man will have a historic MVP season?
No,
By the way, his odds I believe his odds jumped from 50 to 1 to 40 to 1 to win the NFL MVP award. I don't know if he's your safest bet, but if you have some blind faith as an Eagles fan and you think you could cash out, I'd go take it. Certainly, if I could bet, I'd take it. I'm huge on Jalen Hurts. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to some other quarterbacks more boldly.
I'll give you one.
If you got one, go ahead.
I'll give you one right here. Daniel Jones.
I think that's a perfect example. You got a guy who's shown he's shown the talent sometimes. Trust me, as an Eagles fan, I've seen this kid play like a franchise quarterback. It's a matter of him putting it together. You cannot be fumbling the ball. You know, you look at his weapons. He is Sterling. He's Galloway now, right? We have this conversation.
Yes, Kadarius Toney, whoever the second round pick was for the Giants, I forget. I'm drawing a blank right now. Kenny Galladay.
Kenny Galladay. There we go.
Darius Slayton.
Darius Slayton's pretty good too. Not like Pro Bowl level or anything, but like if he's your wide receiver 3, I think you're saying comfortable. You got Evan Neal. Your defense just got Thibodeau. Daniel Jones, yes, I do believe this is a make or break year. And this may be bold coming from an Eagles fan. I don't think he takes the skyline. I think he'll be sitting right where he is. I think he's going to have a good enough season. I think he could get the Giants. If he could get the Giants to a wild card, I think that's good enough. But he needs to get to a wild card and be, at worst, maybe like a Pro Bowl alternate. Probably Pro Bowl, and it's going to be super tough when you got Rodgers, Brady, Kyler Murray, You got all these guys, Kirk Cousins, and you got all these guys in the NFC. But I think he'll be staying right where he is. I've seen the flashes. Yeah, he's a mobile quarterback. That's what you want in this league. He has to stay healthy. He's got to stay off the fumbles, stay off the weed. No, like he doesn't smoke weed, but from what I know, I don't know him personally. But
what I'll say is this: at the end of the season, I think the Giants will extend him. I think they'll shock a lot of people and draft one of the quarterbacks if they play bad.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Daniel Jones out the way. All right. Now, the next two I want to talk about, we'll go into the first one. AFC North rival his. And while we both don't think this should be a conversation, we're going to talk about it. Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. He still hasn't got a deal done. They're worried his play style gets him hurt, and there's questions surrounding, his arm talent as a quarterback, which is ridiculous because I've seen him throw a 70-yard pass like he's warming up. I think looking at the situation, I think it is a do or die year because he's heading into that contract season. So it's, what are you going to pay him? And by that point, the market's going to be higher. They should have signed him an extension 2 years ago or a year ago, whatever the talks was. They should have signed it then, and then it looks cheap. So I think it's a do or die. I think it's a do or die year for him, and he obviously stays on top of the mountain. Like, he's not going nowhere. This is an MVP quarterback. And he's the prime example of what you want in a quarterback. He's got a good arm. He can run. And he, as he said many times, he loves playing quarterback. If he wanted the ball in his hands at all times and he wanted to just run around, he would have played running back. He would have easily made the switch to running back because he was offered it a million times. But he said, no, I throw the ball. I think you give him the money. I think you up his line. I think you just build a team around him. Do something. I don't know.
I'll tell you
Figure it out.
this. I think he makes the playoffs. I think he wins the North. Do I think the Ravens pay him? No.
And honestly, that's not a bold take at all. But if they don't pay him, someone's getting a hell of a fucking quarterback. I'll say that. Tell you what, if the Eagles, if it doesn't work out with Hurts, go get Lamar Jackson. They have similar play styles, and they'll be like, oh, well, that's not a good move. You're moving on from one quarterback that can't throw to another. I'm like, I'm not trying to hear Lamar Jackson can't fucking throw.
Bro,
he won an MVP. You don't win an MVP just by running for 1,000 yards.
If I asked any Eagles fan, would you take Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson right now? Your delusion will say you would take Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, of course. You have a top 10 quarterback, and then you got. Look, I love Jalen Hurts. He's maybe top 20. Yeah, it'd be that simple. Now, moving on to a quarterback who's bona fide top 10, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray has had issues with the Cardinals. They can't seem to get a contract off or something like that. I don't know what's going on. There's been talks, Eagles fan pages, whenever a quarterback's available, they're like, oh, should we trade for him? I'm like, let's trade for why would we trade for this guy? Undersized dude who gets hurt and flames out in the second half of seasons. Not a do or die season for him, I don't believe. He obviously has latent ability. He has a huge arm, can run. Obviously, seeing over the line isn't an issue. He almost took out the damn Packers if AJ Green turned the hell around. He just has to stop flaming out at the end of the season. Maybe the back half of the season is the do or die part, but it's a smaller sample size. I don't know. I don't think this is last year in Arizona whatsoever. Great quarterback in my eyes.
Yeah, Kyler is a great quarterback, but I don't know if it's Kyler's do or die season. It might be Cliff Kingsbury's do or die season.
I agree. He's got this high potent offense, and we haven't got much out of it. I agree.
And I think if Kingsbury doesn't do anything, Kyler might be out the door with him.
Maybe if no adjustments are made. It's just, I think it's weird to take out a quarterback and a head coach at the same time. So, with the Eagles.
The reason I say that is that because when they had Josh Rosen on the roster and they took Kyler Murray number 1, Kingsbury got hired.
Yeah, well, they brought two guys in together, and then they just might kick 2 guys out at the same time.
Yeah.
But that's enough. Like a topic with the Eagles is like, oh well, if we move on from Hurts, what do you think we do with Sirianni? I'm like, what do you mean? What will we do with Sirianni? Like, that's not fair to a head coach or quarterback. Let's look at it last year. Doug Peterson got fired, and then we got rid of Carson Wentz. Look, I love Nick Sirianni, and I'm glad we have him. But my ideal situation would be like, all right, let's keep our Super Bowl winning head coach for one more year and let him try with this new quarterback. I'm glad we started everything fresh, planted new seeds, and flowers started to bloom. But if Hurts doesn't work out next year, I think we keep Sirianni, give him a Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Spencer Rattler, something like that. Y'all know I love Spencer Rattler. He's gonna be back. Promise. I'm telling you, he's gonna be on the come up.
Agreed.
I think. Damn, I have one more quarterback now. I'm forgetting who it was. Jameis Winston, easy.
He is going to take.
It's make or break.
He's taking the.
It's make or break. I think he might take the sideline regardless. I don't know if there's anything he can do for the Saints to be like. Well, you know what? Maybe they might have to keep him because they don't have a first-round pick.
Agreed. But they might go try to sign Lamar or do something better.
That's true. Yeah, he takes the Skyline. See,
takes the Skyline for the Saints. He might go find another team to play for, but I don't think it's the Saints.
Maybe, or I don't know how the NFL does signing trades, but
I don't either. But yeah, Winston is not the guy for the Saints. I don't think so. He's decent. He's not great.
Well, that was Take the Sideline, our first ever segment on that. I actually kind of like that, and I hope to do that more often. Now, let's just talk a little bit NBA lottery before we get out of here. As we mentioned before, the Orlando Magic have the number 1 pick. Oklahoma City Thunder have number 2. Houston Rockets have number 3. And the Sacramento Kings got all the way up to number 4, which was huge for them as a struggling in-between team who can't make the postseason, but they're not necessarily the worst in the conference. I think they're huge winners. The Rockets, you would have loved to see maybe a 1 or 2 pick, but obviously there's 3 good talents that you can add next to Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Jabari Smith, Branchero, Holmgren. One of them 3 are guaranteed to be there for you. I think those are the picks you make. I think there was one more good player. I know his last name was Ivy. I heard he was pretty good. Jaden Ivey. I thought it was Jaden or Jalen. I didn't want to mess it up.
I don't know which one it is.
He's been getting some buzz. I've been seeing he's getting some buzz. I got to do a little bit more recruiting, but it's a little tough when your team is in the Eastern Conference Finals, suffering from success.
One team I like to note, aside from the Orlando Magic, Oklahoma City Thunder. Man,
I think they would love Chet.
Josh Giddey. Now let's hear this. Josh Giddey, SGA, and Paolo Banchero.
And I'm going to be honest with y'all right now. I have no clue how to pronounce that tall white boy's name on their team, but I think you know who I'm talking about. He's he plays center for them. He's a 7-footer. He's super skinny. He's just like Chet Holmgren, and he's got this all-around game. I swear. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Are you talking about Mike Muscala?
No, hell no. Here, let's look it up right now. I'm gonna look up Thunder roster.
Aleksej Pokuševski.
It's something like that. Oh, and they also got Trey Mann. Trey Mann moves really well. Let's see.
Steven Maladon's not bad.
Yeah, Aleksej Pokuševski. We'll call him Poku for right now. Poku is a good talent, and you have to pair him and Chet. That'd be really good. But Paolo would also be very good. Chet would be the more fun option because they're both tall, white. But I think Paolo would probably fit the team better in terms of what they need. You got your point guard in Giddey. You got Shai. You add him. You got this 3-level scorer, good defender. I would like that move if I were them. If I had the number 1 overall pick in Orlando, Mo Bamba's going out the door. You don't really got a big man. I think you got to go Chet. Trust me, with these first 3 picks, you can do no wrong because of these 3 players.
I agree. Jaden Ivey might sneak in top 3. Just don't slip.
He could. I mean, it's all. I mean, look, the NBA Combine isn't like the NFL Combine, and the NBA pre-draft prospect isn't like the NFL's, where you can't like super skyrocket your process. But yeah, there was one more player that I wanted to mention. He played. I know he plays overseas. He is a tall frame. He's a 3-level scorer. And people are saying he might be the best in draft. I don't know his name. I'm gonna find out. And when he's the best player in the NBA, I'm gonna clip this and tell everybody I told you so. But yeah, NBA lottery, man. My Celtics have some of the biggest fleeces in NBA lottery history. That's how we ended up getting Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. We traded down for Jason Tatum. Can you believe that? And the Sixers been getting fleeced, and Celtics traded down.
Ousmane Dieng from New Zealand.
I think that's his name. Is he like? 6'9"? Is he just the top? Is he just the top international guy on the board?
I believe so.
Yeah, if he's then that's probably what we're talking about.
He needs to gain weight. He
obviously.
Weighs,
I think
6'9", like
in terms of the top guys, Jabari Smith and Branchero are the only guys who look. Branchero's built like that dude's built. They just need to bring his special Gatorade everywhere.
He's got
the losing weight stuff.
He gotta be like 6K calories.
He has to eat. Yeah. He has to eat a lot. And that's not like obviously that's not poking fun on him either. Like that's very dangerous. And that would be the worst way to go out is because you simply sweat too hard. That really suck. I hope things work out for him. He's one of my favorite players in this draft of the 4 guys that I know. So,
shout out to Rashad Shaw, former high school athlete who usually also, like Pele Banchero, sweat out too hard.
Yeah, Shadi used to sweat out a lot, but Rashad also said that Giannis would be taking care of the quote weak ass Celtics, and that didn't happen. So,
yeah, he has a lot of hot takes.
To you, Rashad Shaw. Right. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This was a great episode. We got a lot in. Hope you guys like the new Take the Skyline segment. We could do it on any position. We could do it NBA point guards. We could do it on MLB pitch. No, I'm playing. Try to keep it NFL, NCAA, NBA, but we'll do them. I certainly like that one. Love talking NBA as always. Love talking some football. And of course, remember, check out the pinned tweet and check out the Instagram. Once we get to 100 subscribers, we're doing the giveaway. We're pretty far away, so this may take a while, but don't worry. We're keeping tracks in the names. We're going to put it in a name generator, random winner. Trust me, you guys are going to get a free $120 jersey. Anything you want. Like
the Jaylen Brown jersey right there on the door.
This Jaylen Brown jersey right there. Completely authentic. It's got the little how many championships they have on the collar. Or you could get this Tyler Hero blue Vice jersey with the finals patch. Come on, man. It takes 2 minutes, and you could win this. Obviously not this. This is my girlfriend's, so you cannot exactly have this one, but you could order this, and then we'll bring it to you, but not specifically this one. It takes 2 minutes, and we'd really appreciate the support, guys. Just keep supporting. Subscribe. If you're listening to this on Apple Music, Spotify, please download. Once again, you guys want cool shirts, use code Sideline. 10% off your order at intheclutch.com. And you guys have a phenomenal day. Thank you.
As always, stay tuned.
Hey.